Extraction is a 2020 American action thriller film directed by Sam Hargrave and written by Joe Russo, based on the graphic novel Ciudad by Ande Parks, Joe Russo, Anthony Russo, Fernando León González, and Eric Skillman. The film's cast features Chris Hemsworth, Rudrakshar Jaiswal, Randeep Hooda, Golshifteh Farahani, Pankaj Tripathi, and David Harbour. The film is about an Australian black ops mercenary whose mission to save an Indian drug lord's kidnapped son in Dhaka, Bangladesh goes awry when he is double-crossed. Netflix released Extraction on April 24, 2020. The film received praise for its performances and action sequences but was criticized for its screenplay. It became the most watched original film in Netflix's history with a reported 99 million households in its first 4 weeks. A sequel is in development. Early life. Christopher Hemsworth was born on August 11, 1983 in Melbourne, to Leonie, an English teacher, and Craig Hemsworth, a social services counselor. He is the second of 3 sons, following Luke and preceding Liam. Both of them are also actors. His maternal grandfather is a Dutch immigrant and his maternal grandmother is of Irish descent. On his paternal line he is of English, Scottish, and German ancestry. He was brought up both in Melbourne and in the outback in Bulman, Northern Territory. He has said, "My earliest memories were on the cattle stations up in the outback, and then we moved back to Melbourne and then back out there and then back again. Certainly most of my childhood was in Melbourne, but probably my most vivid memories were up there with crocodiles and buffalo." Very different walks of life. He attended high school at Heathmont College before his family again returned to the Northern Territory, and then moved a few years later to Phillip Island. Career. Early work. Hemsworth started his career by appearing in several television series. In 2002, Hemsworth starred in 2 episodes of fantasy television series Guinevere Jones as King Arthur, as well as making an appearance in soap opera series Neighbours and 1 episode of Martial Law. The following year, he appeared in an episode of The Saddle Club. In 2004, Hemsworth auditioned for the role of Robbie Hunter in Australian soap opera Home and Away. He did not receive the part, but was subsequently recalled for the part of Kim Hyde. He moved to Sydney to join the cast, appearing in 171 episodes of the series. He left the cast of Home and Away on July 3, 2007. Hemsworth later remarked that although he became more visible after Home and Away, his work on a soap opera did not earn him respect within the film industry. Hemsworth was a contestant on the 5th season of Dancing with the Stars Australia, partnered with professional dancer Abby Ross. The season premiered on September 26, 2006, and after 6 weeks, Hemsworth was eliminated on November 7. Hemsworth's appearance in the franchise would almost cost him the role of Thor, as producers of the Marvel film franchise feared fans would be put off. In 2009, Hemsworth played James T. Kirk's father, George Kirk, in the opening scenes of J.J. Abrams' film Star Trek. The role was initially offered to Matt Damon, who turned it down. Abrams appreciated Hemsworth taking on the role. Josh Tyler of Cinema Blend was impressed with Hemsworth, describing the actor's scene as the best 5 minutes I've spent in a movie theater this year. The film was a box office success, grossing $385.7 million. That same year, Hemsworth played the character Cale Garrity in the thriller A Perfect Getaway. It was a modest success, grossing $22 million against a $14 million budget, and received mixed reviews. But Hemsworth was praised for his appropriately intimidating performance of a thuggish backpacker. Paul Young of Screen Rant also praised Hemsworth's performance as solid. Hemsworth went on to play Sam in 2010 CAH alongside English actor Sean Bean, which was the first film he shot when he arrived in the United States. The film's director, Stephen Milburn Anderson, said Hemsworth had only been in the United States for 6 weeks when he had auditioned for the role, recalling, "Here's a guy who is young, has the right look, is a very good actor and, let's face it, he's beautiful. So I say, we need to get this guy in." I was very impressed. In November 2010, The Hollywood Reporter named Hemsworth one of the young male actors who are pushing or being pushed onto the Hollywood A-list. Thor and worldwide recognition. In 2011, Sony Pictures announced that Hemsworth would star in the thriller Shadow Runner, but the film has yet to go into production. That same year, Hemsworth was cast as the superhero Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His first film in the franchise was 2011's Thor. He and castmate Tom Hiddleston, who ultimately played Loki, had each auditioned for the role, for which Hemsworth said he gained 20 pounds of muscle. With a worldwide gross of $449.3 million, Thor was the 15th highest grossing film of 2011. The film received positive reviews, and Hemsworth's portrayal of the God of Thunder was praised by Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times. Hemsworth reprised the role the following year for the film The Avengers as one of the 6 superheroes alongside Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark/Iron Man, Chris Evans' Steve Rogers/Captain America, Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner/Hulk, Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff/Black Widow, and Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton/Hawkeye sent to defend Earth from his adopted brother, Loki. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $1.5 billion worldwide. The ensemble cast was praised for their on-screen chemistry by Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Hemsworth shot the horror film The Cabin in the Woods shortly after the release of Star Trek, but it went unreleased until 2012. It garnered positive reviews, and his portrayal of alpha male jock Kurt Vaughn was described by Alison Foreman of Mashable as his sexiest role yet. Hemsworth later starred opposite Kristen Stewart in the film Snow White and the Huntsman as the Huntsman. Although a commercial success, grossing $396 million worldwide, it received mixed reviews. Critics were critical of Hemsworth and Stewart's on-screen chemistry, and Angela Watercutter of Wired felt the characters were not fully fleshed out. Hemsworth was cast as Jed Eckert in the 2012 Red Dawn remake after MGM saw Daly's footage of a scene from The Cabin in the Woods. He was cast as Thor 2 days after being cast in Red Dawn. The film was a box office bomb, grossing only $50 million against a production budget of $65 million, and received negative reviews. In 2013, Hemsworth starred in Ron Howard's sports drama film Rush, as 1976 Formula One world champion James Hunt. The film was critically praised and became a box office success, grossing $98.2 million against a budget of $38 million. Henry Barnes of The Guardian was impressed with Hemsworth's performance, praising the actor for delivering the superb script with some mastery. Later that year, Hemsworth reprised the role of Thor for the sequel to Thor in Thor: The Dark World. Although a commercial success with a worldwide gross of $644.6 million, the film became the lowest-rated film in the MCU franchise on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes at 66% approval rating. The chemistry between Hemsworth and Hiddleston was praised by critics. Ben Child of The Guardian wrote, "Thanks to Hiddleston and Hemsworth's impressive collective charisma, Thor: The Dark World is far from a franchise killer." In 2015, Hemsworth starred in director Michael Mann's action thriller Black Cot, opposite Viola Davis. The film bombed at the box office and was poorly received. For many critics, a significant issue of the film was the casting of Hemsworth as a hacker. Christy Lemire of the Chicago Sun-Times remarked, anyone who makes way in the world sitting in front of a computer screen all day is not going to look as hunky as Hemsworth. Hemsworth himself later admitted to being displeased with his performance. "I didn't enjoy what I did in the film," he commented. "It just felt flat, and it was also an attempt to do what I thought people might have wanted to see. But I don't think I'm good in that space." He reprised his role as Thor for the fourth time in the sequel to the Avengers, Age of Ultron. In addition to the film receiving positive reviews and grossing over $1.4 billion worldwide, Hemsworth also won the People's Choice Awards for Favorite Action Movie Actor. Hemsworth returned to the set of Home and Away in November 2014 to film a scene as an extra and not as his character Kim Hyde. The episode which he appeared in was broadcast on May 19, 2015. That same year, he co-starred in the comedy film Vacation, along with Ed Helms, a revival of the film series that originally starred Chevy Chase. He was nominated for the MTV Movie Awards for Best Kiss with Leslie Mann. His last 2015 film was In the Heart of the Sea, based on the book of the same name by Nathaniel Philbrick, with Hemsworth playing first mate Owen Chase. In an interview on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he said that to prepare for the role of starving sailors, the cast was put on a diet of 500-600 calories a day to lose weight. In the Heart of the Sea received mixed reviews from critics, and was a box office disappointment, grossing $93 million against a $100 million budget, but Hemsworth received a nomination for Choice Movie Actor, Action at the 18th Teen Choice Awards. Continued commercial success. In 2016, Hemsworth reprised the role of Eric the Huntsman in The Huntsman, Winter's War, alongside Jessica Chastain, who played his love interest. Writing for IndieWire, Oliver Littleton criticized the on-screen chemistry between Hemsworth and Chastain, stating that they're both struggling uphill against accents they're palpably not comfortable with, displaying zero chemistry, and frankly appearing to be in different films. The film underperformed compared to its predecessor, grossing only $165 million. Hemsworth later joined the cast of the reboot Ghostbusters film, playing Kevin the Receptionist. The film disappointed critically and commercially, but Hemsworth was praised for Deliver the Most Fun by Caroline Westbrook of Metro and won the Kids' Choice Awards for Favorite Movie Actor. Hemsworth reprised his role as Thor in Thor, Ragnarok, released on November 3, 2017 in the US, and again in both the third and fourth Avengers films, Avengers, Infinity War and Avengers, Endgame in 2018 and 2019 respectively. All three films were a critical and commercial success. Matt Zoller cites of RogerEbert.com likened Hemsworth's acting to Cary Grant, stating that Hemsworth's charisma holds together whenever it threatens to spin apart. Hemsworth won the Teen Choice Awards for Choice Sci-Fi Movie Actor. Meanwhile, in his review of Avengers, Endgame, Joe Morgenstern of The Wall Street Journal acknowledged Hemsworth's Thor, endearing despite some ragged material and the actor's seemingly limited dramatic range, while praising Hemsworth in the MCU Infinity Saga finale as the graceful, exuberant comic actor he was destined to be, while Thor morphs, alarmingly and charmingly yet still heroically into a beer-bellied apparition who could pass for Jeff Lebowski. In 2019, Hemsworth also starred in a spin-off of the Men in Black series, titled Men in Black International. The film grossed $253 million worldwide and received generally unfavorable reviews from critics, who criticized the lackluster action and forgettable plot, although the chemistry between Hemsworth and co-star Tessa Thompson was praised. The following year, he starred in the Netflix action thriller Extraction, reuniting him with the Russo brothers, who served as producers. After being watched by 90 million households in its initial month of release, the film broke Netflix's viewership record previously held by Bird Box. In 2020, Hemsworth reprised the role of Thor in the fourth film, Thor: Love and Thunder. Filming began in February 2021 in Australia, and it was released on June 23, 2022. Upcoming projects. Public image. After appearing as Thor in the MCU franchise, Hemsworth's physique gained attention from fans. His exercise routines have been regularly discussed in the media, including the Times of India, Men's Health, Men's XP, Entertainment Tonight, and Metro. He later created the fitness app Ciudad, which provides paying customers access to nutrition, wellness, and exercise routines. In 2014, he was named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. Hemsworth is an avid supporter of the Western Bulldogs in the Australian Football League. He was the star of the AFL's 2014 Everything's Possible campaign, donating the fees for his involvement to the Australian Children Foundation. Hemsworth was also the star in the AFL's 2017 I'd Like to See That commercial. Wealth. As his career in Hollywood films has developed, Hemsworth has become one of the world's highest-paid actors. He appeared in Forbes' World's Highest-Paid Actors list in 2014, 2015, and 2018. Additionally, he ranked 31st in the magazine's list of highest-paid celebrities in 2018 and 24th in 2019 with estimated earnings of $76.4 million. Charity. In May 2020, Chris and his brother Liam were among the celebrities who read an installment of Roald Dahl's children's fantasy novel James and the Giant Peach in aid of the global non-profit charity Partners in Health, CO founded by Dahl's daughter Ophelia, which had been fighting COVID-19 in vulnerable areas. Personal life. Hemsworth began dating Spanish model and actress Elsa Pataky in early 2010, after meeting through their mutual representatives. They married in December 2010. The couple have a daughter, India Rose, born in May 2012, and twin sons, Sasha and Tristan, born in March 2014. In 2015, the family moved from Los Angeles to Byron Bay, New South Wales, in his native Australia. Hemsworth was appointed a member of the Order of Australia in the 2021 Queen's Birthday Honours. Filmography. Film. Television.